Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast, powered by Healthy Steps Nutrition Mentoring. At HSN, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach when working with clients. We know that helping our clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves isn't just about what they eat or going to the gym a few hours a week. We focus on a holistic approach, addressing nutrition, stress management, mindset, sleep, support system, lifestyle, and of course, exercise. Our mission is to help people take control of their health, one step at a time, to prevent and reverse chronic disease. My name is Nicole Coyne, and I'm the founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, home of CrossFit HSN and HSN Mentoring. And in this podcast, we're going to teach you how to take one step at a time to build a successful nutrition coaching program in your gym. Today's podcast guest is Paddy. He is a mentor for HSN Mentoring, but he actually started as a gym owner. Him and his partner Dan opened up their gym 11 years ago. And in this podcast, we are talking about how they have transformed their business from an exceptional fitness facility to a true house of wellness, where they are not only empowering health inside of their gym, but also helping people outside of their gym. They had some learning curves along the way. One in particular was a funny story with Dan, his partner, and I in Sweden at Coaches Congress earlier this year. It has been amazing to watch this gym grow and the impact they're having empowering health. And the coolest thing is watching them build a team of people that are so passionate about the mission and vision, what they are doing to empower health in their community. So excited for you to listen to this episode with Paddy. At the end of this episode, he actually talks about an exercise that he took gym owners through at our live event, the Gym Accelerator Summit, to help them align their mission and vision. So many gym owners open gyms because they want to help people with fitness. They're passionate about CrossFit or whatever type of fitness modality. And in reality, they realize, man, nutrition is a missing piece of the puzzle. They add a nutrition program. And until you realign the vision, the North Star, where you are going, you're going to miss opportunities. You're not going to have all of the team aligned, and you're not going to be able to reach the impact that ultimately you were destined to reach. So this episode is so important. Make sure you get your notes out and enjoy this conversation with Paddy. Paddy, welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast.
Hey, Nicole, it's been a while.
I know, gosh, I feel like you made your first appearance during COVID when you guys were doing so many really cool things in Ireland to integrate nutrition and get so creative virtually. We had to share that story. It's been a while. So I'd love for you to take a second to introduce yourself. You're a gym owner. Tell me a little bit about your gym and we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. God, yeah, it has been a minute. We're Phoenix is the name of our gym. We're over here in a small town in Ireland. We opened the doors 11 years ago, actually 11 years ago next month. So we're in the game a little bit. Yeah. And it's like it's grown and evolved to something that we could never have imagined. When I started, it was, so my gym is a partnership. So Danny is the other owner with myself. So the two of us, we started it originally, and now it's grown to the point where we have 7 coaches. 5 of us are full-time. We've 3 of those are nutrition coaches as well. So we've got a nice solid program running thanks to HSN with the last, God, I think it took us too long to find HSN. I think it was, we're with you guys 6 years, 7 years now at this stage. So I wish it had been sooner, but when we started, nutrition was definitely not on our radar for sure.
You and Danny have such a great partnership, and I had the opportunity to meet you guys. We'll share a story about that a little bit later, but you and Dan have such a great partnership in dividing roles and tasks and conquering. Tell me a little bit about how that partnership works and how you guys have made it work so well for 11 years.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose when it comes to my Dan and I, we're very different personalities, and I think that's why it works. And you've met him; you could, we're very different. But as I say, we both have this we both have the same vision when it comes to wanting to help people, and that I think comes down to the root of everything that we do. When we everything that happens here, we're both very, very driven, both very much have a growth mindset. We always want to progress and be moving forward. And that's a common thing, honestly, that's held the two of us so close in business. We were good friends before we started this. We were friends, we were competitors, we were, yeah, we've been through a lot together. So opening the gym, when it happened for all the right reasons, but it was, yeah, it's very different. The big thing is like there's communication, just clear roles and tasks. Danny and I know exactly what our roles are. And once those have been done, we're all cool. Like we meet every week to make sure that everything is being followed on what we have to do. Danny looks after coach development, programming, that side of things. I look after the nutrition and the business side of things. And that's why it works. We both bring something and we appreciate what the other person brings. And that's honestly why it's worked so well all these years.
Yeah, it's so clear that you guys truly just care for each other and you are in alignment with serving and helping people for sure. Let's talk about the vision. The goal of this podcast is to kind of talk about how your vision and everything has evolved over the years. You guys didn't always have nutrition. Now nutrition is a huge pillar of the business. Prior to really making nutrition a pillar of the business, what was the vision when you guys opened 11 years ago?
Oh man, I think we're like so many owners in that we went to this blind and it was a steep learning curve. Like that's there was no like back then, but like we knew we wanted to help people. We had a passion for doing this. Like it was in our hearts the right thing to do, but we did not have the structure. We did not have, we didn't sit down and create our vision and core values when we started this. It was, you know what, we want to be the best we can be at delivering fitness. Like that was as far as it went. And we ran a very successful gym by working hard. And that was like we worked hard, we made the mistakes. And that's why I love getting to do what I do now, because I can help other people not make those mistakes because I've lived through them. But I think it was by working hard. We just fitness was the thing. Like it was just let's deliver fitness. And very like as we got into this, we realized, okay, we're making progress here, but not at the pace that we should be making it. So we started addressing the nutrition side, having a look at that, and we did again like what a lot of gyms did. We did challenges. We tried to outsource it. We tried to have people that were inside the gym that had nutrition qualifications helping us. We spent a lot of money building out this a whole program to be able to deliver challenges and things on our website, and it was okay, but it was challenges. There was no continued support. It wasn't in our hands, which was the big issue. And then the girl who was helping us run it, who had done a fantastic job, left the country. So then any bit of nutrition that we had left the country with us with her. So cue me hearing you on a podcast and reaching out to HSN, and that's transformed our business since we've partnered with you guys.
Let's talk about that. You guys, it was so clear that you were bought in. We talked, you signed up, you had coaches going through the training with you, but you were doing the things too. So you could clearly support them. You're still involved with the nutrition program. And I think this is a mistake that so many gym owners make. They're like, all right, I'm going to invest this money. I'm going to give it all to a coach and then I don't have to do anything. When in reality, you're still a big part, not necessarily doing all the day-to-day of nutrition, but you're a big part of leading that team. Because you've done that, you've invested time, energy, resources into building this pillar of your business. What has it been like now that you have a nutrition program up and running? Maybe revenue, client results, reach, like what are some of the things that have happened because you guys have added this piece of the puzzle?
Yeah, for sure. When I say it's transformed my business, like it's a complete understatement. Like it's been huge for us. So like we've a few different areas here. Number one, it put careers in front of my coaches. So it's no longer guys just coaching classes and doing PTs. Now we're able to do nutrition coaching. They're able to build this into full-time job opportunities with a career path in front of them. And I don't think we could have done as good a job of doing that without that nutrition component. So that's one for our coaches. For our members, we're changing lives. Like we were helping people before, but we're properly changing lives now. Like I could stay on this all day talking about some of the success stories we've had through coaching people through a habit-based approach. So that's the biggest component for us. Business-wise, like nutrition brings in 35 to 40% of our revenue now. Like it's huge component. It's allowed us to expand out into the community. Like we're involved in so many different local businesses. Our reach is so much more. We can help more people because we're working with local business to be able to help their employees. People that never would have come inside the door of the gym, we've been able to reach them through partnering with different partners and different companies, clubs, associations, schools. All of these partnerships that we've been able to build through HSN have just allowed us to make a bigger impact, which is, hey, that's the end goal.
It's so amazing to watch you guys do really incredible things, and the success stories, the chronic disease that's reversed because you guys are helping people with a habit-based approach. And you guys do have a pretty big employee wellness program where you have companies paying for 100% of nutrition coaching for their employees, individual coaching, which is pretty amazing. If we're honest, like I want to work for a company that pays for all of my nutrition coaching. So you guys are doing incredible things. I love that. And I want to go back to the vision. So you guys opened the gym, clearly passionate, not afraid to work hard. And you did the thing, made some mistakes along the way, a steep learning curve, as you would say. Now you have a nutrition program that's a pillar of your business. Maybe we need to go back and really figure out this vision and mission and core values. What made you guys decide, hey, we need to revisit this conversation?
Yeah, for sure. It was, again, we kind of got caught up for a long time being really, really busy, which I'm sure a lot of people, gym owners, are not afraid to work hard, which can be to our downfall at times. So we put it on the back burner for way too long. And it was only as we were seeing that we were so much more than this. I think we can share a story, if you don't mind, of when we were in Sweden. Was one of the biggest eye openers to me, because I had been working hard, and again it's a partnership, so we'd have both been working hard, but we've been doing our thing, chugging along. But our visions for our communication around our vision probably hadn't been the best, because we sat down for dinner with you over in Sweden. It was your first time meeting Dan, and over dinner, just the conversation came up about this, and you asked Dan what was our vision for the gym, and Dan took off, and man, he was so passionate, a bit like I am now speaking about it as well. But the entire vision was our leaning back towards our original vision of helping people through fitness and being the best fitness facility. And man, I cringe a little bit, I'll be honest, like, oh no, it's like our vision has changed. Like we need to communicate this better, because in my books, our vision was, all about empowering people to rise up and take control of their health. Like that's where we had gone. But the fact that Dan answered the question that way, I was like, cool, this highlights, we need to revisit this, and we need to make, if our visions are not aligned, how can our staff be aligned? So that was a huge eye opener for me, to be honest. And since then, we've met a lot of changes since Sweden. We came back from there. We had been working on it, or I had been working on it for sure beforehand, but it just highlighted to me that it was something that we both needed to be working on, and that's what we got stuck into the minute we came home from that trip to Sweden.
I think this is a situation that so many gym owners can relate to. Like my husband and I own our gym, right? If he's into something, and we both like try to stay in our lanes, right? If he's really into something, he's going full force at it. I'm trying to stay in my lane. His lens is going to be all on the things that he's focused on. And ultimately, that's kind of how the conversation happened. But honestly, it was so great to meet Dan. Like, I absolutely love the guy. I hope we can get him back over to the US to our event, in one of these years coming up. But I think it was really good for it to kind of open the the door to, hey, we really need to have a conversation together, because what would happen if we are both aligned? And ultimately, it came down to, what do you want people to think of when they think of your business? And you were right. Like, hey, we have been investing all this time, energy into not just the fitness piece, but this health piece. And it's become a big part and pillar of our business. We got to keep that message going so that we can potentially have more doors open for serving more people. So, what did it look like when you guys came back from Sweden? What were some of the things that you guys did, the work that you did, and how did it impact you guys, but then also your staff?
Yeah, for sure. The first thing we did when we come back is we put time in the calendar that was non-negotiable. And that's probably key to us getting these done. It was like, look, this is our time, and no matter what comes on the table, this is our time to sit down and work on this stuff, because it's so easy for other things to come in. I was like, oh, you know what? I need to go put out this fire or put out this fire. But the big thing that Sweden did for us is highlight that, you know, this is the most important thing that we can do to make an impact. So we put the time aside. We started off by trying to just redefine what our vision was and making sure that we were both in alignment. It didn't happen overnight. Like we both knew what we wanted, but how to phrase it, or how to say it in a way that meant something to all of us, that represented what we wanted to do over the next couple of years, took time. So I would say, don't rush the process when you are doing it. So myself and Dan came together and we defined what our vision was. We worked through that. We worked on our core values as well. And then we started to include our staff in the process at that point. The way we best this was best described to me in the past is like, if your vision is not explained well to yourself, if your staff don't know the vision, you're expecting somebody to be motivated to come to work every single day to just do the same thing. No matter how great and fun working in a gym is, you're essentially just asking them to come in, do the same thing, plod away, with no real direction. When your staff know where you're going and why you're going there, it transforms what they want to do and their involvement. It was the way I like to explain is, like, if I say to you, Nicole, it's like, hey, come on, let's go over here. You're going to say, well, where are we going? How long are we going for? What are we doing when we get there? Like, all of these questions. But without me telling you where we're going and what we're doing, it's very hard for you to be motivated about coming on that journey with me. Well, it's the exact same with your staff. If we don't tell them what we're trying to achieve over the next couple of years, what our vision is, how we intend to do it, how can we expect them to be motivated and fired up and to feel part of it? And having our staff feel part of it transforms the way they're going to have what their day-to-day is going to be.
Yeah, your staff needs to be bought in to your vision for sure. So what ended up being the vision after all this and all the deliberation and getting your staff involved? What is the vision of Phoenix?
To empower people to rise up and take control of their health.
I
short.
Love it.
It's short and sweet, and that was the big thing. Honestly, we came up with ones, and they were paragraphs. And if you can't say what your vision is, it's probably too long. Because if you can't remember it and you have to revert back to read it, that statement, your chances of your staff remembering what that is, or them being able to use it or memorize it or act that way, it's very, very unlikely. So we kept it short, sweet, powerful. It means every single word in that has a meaning to us.
I love it. You guys, you came over and you did a breakout session at the Gym Accelerator Summit, our annual event in Nashville, Tennessee. That breakout session was one of the top rated breakout sessions from the entire weekend from almost every single gym owner. And they basically were like, man, I needed this, similar situation to you. We all open gyms because we want to help people. And fitness was the way that we were helping people. And then we added this nutrition piece, and now we have to realign so that nutrition isn't a back burner second thought. It's a pillar of the business. Talk to me about how you did this. How did that breakout session go? We'll talk about the mission and vision first, and then we're going to layer in the core values because I think that was another big piece. So, what did you do with gym owners during this breakout session?
Yeah, so when we had that breakout session, we we kept it really simple, and we gave 3 to 4 questions that I wanted you to ask yourself to think about that help you define what your vision for the gym is. And the questions that we kind of spoke to people about is like, number one, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Like that's clear. If you think about our one, empowering people to rise up and take control of their health. That is a big issue that we see, that people did not have the knowledge, the support to be able to take control of their health. So that was number one. So what problems were you trying to solve? What fires you up? Like what's your burn? What's your the thing that gets you up in the morning and gets you fired up? Like what is that thing? That means so much to you. And then what makes you unique? The One of the things that was got me going on this even before Sweden, like what kicked me into doing it, was I was doing a free intro, and somebody straight up, it's probably the first time in 10 years that I've been asked this was, well, what makes you different from the gym down the road?
Ooh.
I was like, ooh, what a question. Brilliant. But I wasn't happy with how I answered it. And so I sat down after, was like, man, like that is a question that we need to see for us to be able to know what does make us different. So make sure we're working that into what we do here and how you define your vision. So we kept it simple. Sit down, answer those 4 questions, or 3 questions, essentially, fired up and burn being the same thing. And see, can you formulate that into what your vision, where are you trying to get to, and what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to get to help people do?
I love that. I think a lot of times some businesses try to solve every single problem, and then it's, we're helping kids, we're helping this, we're helping that, we're doing all these different things, and you need to align it to be really good at one thing. And once you break through, then it opens more doors. You're known for something, and then people trust you. But if you're trying to be the jack of all trades to everyone, you're not going to relate to anyone.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So you had people figure out their mission and vision, ask those questions, and then it came to core values. Many people do not have core values in their business. What are core values? Why should people invest time, energy into creating core values for their business?
Yeah, for sure. Core values are, in these way to describe it, is like essentially how you business behaves on heading for your vision. So how your business behaves, how your staff behave, how the environment in the gym. And I'll give you an example of our ones. So our core values are fun, fire, and focus. Okay. And again, they might mean nothing to anybody else, but my members sure as hell know what they mean, and I know that they mean a lot to us. So it's, for us, fun. We ensure that you're not going to stick with something if it's not fun. So we ensure that we have a fun, welcoming environment in all of our classes, and that our coaches have that in our team here as well. We're a fun team to be part of. So that's a huge piece of it that couldn't be ignored. Fire, obviously, our gym name is Phoenix, so we're going to be rising up from the ashes for change as well. But it's going to be, every class you should walk into should be absolute fire. Like it should fire you up. You should be motivated, inspired. Like that's how I want my staff to be as well. So not just the class environment, my staff. I want them to be fired up and passionate about helping people. So that's again how you see it in class and see it with our staff. And then focus, and the exact same thing. We're going to have lots of fun, but it's going to be focused. Like as I say to people, we're very heavy on the coaching side of things, and we're going to make sure that everybody is getting results or achieving what they set out to achieve. So fun, fire, and focus, they're our 3 core values for both our staff and for the business downstairs. So that's an example of them in action. I think the best way I've heard this described in the past of how to try and think about these core values was, if you think about your gym as a person, and you were going to bring this person to lunch to meet one of your other friends, how would you describe that person to your friend? So if I was to say, hey, Nicole, I'm bringing Dan along to lunch. Man, you're going to love him. He is so much fun. He's passionate. He's fired up, but he's really focused about getting results, and he's great growth mindset. Like that's those words that I use to describe Dan. They're his core values. Like that's how I see him. So how do you see your gym? If you were to describe your gym in 3 or 4 words to somebody else, what would those 3 or 4 words be, and what does it mean for your business?
This makes it really practical to also remember and keep it as a driving force so that you're headed in a straight direction. So many times I feel like as business owners, we're thrown with so many different problems, honestly, distractions or different opportunities that we can be not focused and go all over the place. And this can be a real guiding light to help you stay on track and be in alignment. And I would venture to say it could also, I mean, take both of these things, the vision and the core values, allow you as the owner to not get distracted by other potential different opportunities that coaches bring to you. Like, hey, this dog fundraiser, this and that, all these different opportunities that could be cool, but are they taking away from the focus of really reaching the goal that you set out to reach?
Exactly. It's they're almost like a filter for every other decision that we need to make. Like, does this decision run through this filter? So, like, does it pass? Yes, it does. Cool, let's do it. If it doesn't, well, sorry, that doesn't align with what we're trying to achieve here. So that's going to have to go on the back burner. So it really does clarify decisions. I think that like the things that you see problems with when you don't have vision and core values is lack of buy-in from the coaches. So that's one of the huge things. If they, again, we spoke about this already, if they don't know where they're going and why they're going there, it's very hard for them to be motivated and bought in. It can also, if you're not clear about who you're helping, how you're helping it, and you're not passionate about it, it's probably going to affect the amount of leads you have or the type of leads that you have. People look at anything that we send out or any other social media. It's clear that we're a fun, welcoming environment to try and be part of. But we're also you're seeing plenty of results and success. So it's like I think it's creates good, strong leads as well in a roundabout way. And if somebody doesn't have a clear vision and core values, as we said, it causes this distraction or kind of your growth gets slowed because you're trying to go after too many different opportunities. Whereas you get laser focused on fixing one problem, you're going to see much more success.
100%. A gym owner listening to this is like, okay, yep, I need to sit down. I need to ask myself those 3, 4 questions regarding mission and vision. They need to think about the core value questions. If you were to bring your gym out to meet a friend, what would you describe that friend as? I love that. What are the next things that they should be thinking about? When do you include your staff? Is this something you should only do by yourself? What are the things that the gym owner should be thinking about as they potentially revisit this or look at this for the first time?
Excellent. And it's going to be Paddy sharing another mistake. I did this in the past and involved the staff too soon. And it's important to involve your staff, but at the right time. If you involve them too soon, you're going to get all these kind of, like that we said about all these crazy suggestions of things that might be great. The way I recommend doing it is your vision. Because we're a partnership, it was Dan and I. If I was the sole owner, it would just be me. That I think you should get it like 85-90% clear with your vision. It's like, look, this is what we're trying to do. And at that point, involve your staff. It's like, this is the state. This is what we're trying to do. This is the statement that decides that. Do you think there's anything that I'm leaving out or should be changed, or would you say it in any way differently? So having it fairly clear, the direction that you're heading, but asking for a bit of input, but you're pretty much there when it comes to the vision and mission. When it comes to your core values, I like to keep the core values to like 3 to 4, nice, memorable, short, sweet. But I think with the core values, you should be like 70% there, I would say, like 60-70%. Know what your core values are, know what they mean to you, because it honestly takes a while to narrow down the list of all the core values that you come up with to the ones that mean most. Have it almost there, and then ask the staff, sit down. It's like, guys, look, these are the core values that I've picked out for Phoenix. This is why those core values are in there and what they mean. Is there anything else that you see that we should include? Because I'm okay with having 4 or 5 if those 4 or 5 kind of pass through this filter and they're mean enough to be included. So let's talk about that. So it's very much making sure that the staff have some input on it. And the way we did it is again, myself and Dan, then the leadership team, and then everybody. And that was the way we filtered down, but everybody got an opportunity to have some input as long as we could. Again, it caused some great conversation about as to why things should or shouldn't be in there. So vision and mission, I would say 90% there, core values, 60-70% there, and be open to having good conversation about why you would or wouldn't include those core values.
I love that. All right, so you're doing this, you're meeting with the staff. Once you figure this out, once you have your mission, you have your core values, how are you actually using them in practice to ensure they just don't get dusty on a shelf or a file that never gets opened?
Yeah, for sure. So there's a few ways that we've used them. Number one, the first thing we did is come back and put them straight on the walls. Like they need to be here. They need to be seen. But we use them in our interview process. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what our core values are and what our vision is. And if it doesn't align, well, then it's going to be the shortest interview in the world. We want to make sure that somebody aligns right off the bat. This is what our core values are. This is why it means so much to us. This is what is expected from any potential hire. So that's one thing. As I said, we use it as a filter to dictate the things we do. It dictates some of the stuff we put on social media. Like, does it align with our core values? If it doesn't, well, then it's not going up there. We use it in all our staff meetings. All our staff know what our vision and mission is. One of the activities that we started doing was at the start of each staff meeting, I'll randomly pick a staff member to explain how they saw one of the other staff members living their core values in this past week.
Wow.
And it's brilliant.
That's good. You know, I have to share a story. One of the things that we do is send out a survey to all of the coaches and gym owners I think it's like 12 weeks. And one of your staff members responded in the survey. It's only one question, like how likely would you be to recommend HSN? And then it prompts them to leave some comments, feedback for us or whatever. And one of your staff members literally put your vision in the feedback and how HSN has helped you guys be able to accelerate your impact to achieve the vision that you wanted. That has never happened before. And I was like, I screenshotted it to you. I sent it to you. I was like, man, Paddy, like clearly you are doing something right, because it's not just you and Dan that know this. Your staff is so bought in to where you guys are headed, which I honestly feel like makes people go the extra mile and do the extra thing, maybe even if they don't want to in that moment.
That makes me super proud of the guys. But it's true. They all know it. They all live it. They all like they're probably sick of us hearing it at this stage. But it's going to continue to be forefront of all our discussions, and it doesn't the staff meeting go by when we're not referring to it in some way. And it comes to like we use their core values when we're thinking about our partnerships. Like, if we're going to partner with this company, do they align? Can we go in here and do we think? Can we bring our vibe and our fun into that company and have a reciprocation? So it's a huge part of that decision-making process as well.
Awesome. All right. You've probably got some gym owners in HSN mentoring that are listening to this. They're like, man, Paddy, I want you to help me. So you can book your next mentoring call with Paddy, and he can work with you one-on-one. Potentially, maybe we have you come on a coach's corner and kind of roundtable this too, because I think this is a conversation that needs to continue to happen in HSN mentoring, so that especially these gym owners, they've invested a lot of time, energy, resources into building a nutrition program, and the communication between the staff and everyone else needs to be in alignment with the direction that they're headed. And likely it might be a little bit of a turn since they first opened the gym, which is a good thing. We're evolving. We're realizing, hey, we can have such a greater impact than just the fitness pillar of health. There's other pillars of health that we want to address as well.
Yeah, there's been so many conversations since GAS around this. There's been so many mentor calls have been focused on this, and honestly, it's been really, really enjoyable to help people work through this and to see, because again, when you've seen the benefit of this happen firsthand, I'm passionate about trying to help other gym owners see that success as well, or enjoy that kind of alignment that we all have now.
Amazing. Paddy, any final thoughts as we wrap up this podcast today?
No, I'm good. Just reiterate, it takes time, give it time. Don't try and rush that process is the first thing I'd say. But yeah, be deliberate about giving it time.
Awesome. Well, you will be headed to Coaches Congress in October in London.
Yes.
So you'll be talking a little bit. We're going to do a nutrition challenge workshop together. So for our international gyms, make sure that you join us in London. And for everyone that's not international, the Gym Accelerator Summit will be the next event. You'll lead some breakouts with Lindsay as well. That event is April 3rd through the 5th, 2025 in Nashville, Tennessee. So hopefully we get to see some more people in person where you can impact and help them transform their businesses so that we can all rise the tide together. Paddy, thank you so much for all that you do, and super excited to see you in a few months in person.
Thanks, Nicole. It's always a pleasure.
Hope you enjoyed that episode with Paddy. Gosh, so many nuggets in there and so many lessons to be learned, mistakes to avoid and overcome. If you find yourself in a position where you're a gym owner and you started adding this piece of the puzzle, or you know it's still a missing piece, we would love to help you at HSN. HSN Mentoring provides a turnkey solution for gym owners to build, launch, and grow a professional nutrition coaching program in-house. From the business systems to the marketing support to the exclusive app to manage clients and the nutrition coaching certification. Not only is there an initial training, but there's ongoing support, ongoing mentoring calls with someone like Paddy, educational webinars, monthly content to help you keep nutrition a priority in your message. Ultimately, it comes down to this. What do people think of when they think of your business? What do people think of when they think of you as a gym owner? And my goal is that when people think of a business that's partnered with HSN, it's not just about the fitness, but it's helping people understand that they can take control of their health one step at a time. They can prevent and reverse chronic disease through nutrition, fitness, and accountability coaching. So if nutrition's the missing piece of the puzzle and you're ready to add it, we would love to help you. You can click the link in the show notes to learn more, read reviews, and the next step is to book a free call with us. We want to get to know you a little bit and see if HSN is the right fit for you. Those free calls are for gym owners, but if you're a nutrition coach interested in becoming a nutrition coach at a gym, you can always jump on that free call with your gym owner. Hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and we'll see you back here next week.